like that. Eh? You can't even go to the Sharia house and tell them, you know what, it's time to change this name. I'm done with this name. It's a wrap with this name. Pancras, I'm waiting for you. Pancras Nyongesa. I mean, this guy must have struggled all through his primary. Imagine the kids who could just... Pancras. God damn it. All right, Chuma, what do you want to say?
Well, Kibe, what I have to say to Rocky is very simple. Like, everything that you have heard people say here is what you have been thinking. And you know it. Deep down, you know everything that's happening and what everyone is saying is true. Like, these people are taking advantage of you. It's time that you either take it up and don't complain ever, or you step up and tell them that, look, guys, this is what's going to happen. Maybe I'll support you for another 2 months, and then you have to take that money that I've given you to do something about it. Because these guys are using you like an SSF of the family. Like, once you got there, they retired. Now they're just eating their pension. So you're not a pension plan. Make sure that these people know that you also have a life. You should be starting your own family by now. And let them be, this paying back the way George said does not help you. Pay forward. Look for that one particular person. The reason why they helped you is because you had the potential to go somewhere. Now look through their kids, and if you find someone among the kids that can actually help and you see they're going somewhere, you can actually take them up and help them out. That's how you'll be paying back to the family, because you can't pay everyone back. If you take that one person and take them that far, everybody will know that you did the best.
But Chuma, as long as you're helping, you will never stop helping. So even though you take those 2 kids who look brilliant and you want to help them, remember, this is still their father.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you doing to the kids?
The issue is, the fathers are not doing anything right now.
So
they have to be put in that situation.
So fuck the father and fuck their kids, bro. The problem is you're taking responsibility for someone else's children.
This guy can't help it. The best way you can do it is maybe to minimize the damage. Because as much as we advise...
Which damage? It's not my damage. It's damage of your kids, bro. Again, remember, you guys are telling men to stop taking responsibility for their own actions. And now you can hive this responsibility to somebody else. Just because your brother is in the States. Have you seen how much money is being sent from the States to Kenya?
Yeah, I saw some report earlier. It's some good money.
And it's not money that is helping Kenya. It's money that is keeping Kenya in bondage.
So, what I was just saying simply is this guy is already there. He cannot get out of it. Now, the reason why he's giving us all these excuses is because he doesn't want to get out of it. And the best way you can do is start your own family. Once you see the cost of raising even 1 kid, then you'll realize these guys are playing you. And from there, you'll actually know what to do. But all these things that Kibe is saying and George is saying and everybody else will come and tell you is things that you already know. It doesn't you choose to ignore and you're now complaining. Now, just take it up. If you're going to be doing this for forever, just take it with your good heart that you are, and you will suffer forever. Because good people always get what they deserve. And mostly they get the bad things.
Man, all right. Thank you, Chuma. Samson, jump on this one.
Hi, Kibe.
Hey, Samson, how are you, man?
I'm good. I just want to contribute towards Rock. Yeah, I think Rock is not the first story we've heard about helping, especially people from Africa. I'll give you an example, Rock, and this example is from Kenya. There was a gentleman from Kenya who decided to help his brother and get school fees for 3 years. Then on the last day, during the time of graduation, he decided to surprise him by coming to attend the graduation without informing him, because he wanted to feel the weight of success now that the brother was finally getting his degree. The only problem, he didn't realize that when he went away and started sending money, the brother didn't tell him what was happening. He instead invested money into bringing cars from Japan. So the trade went on very well, and he ended up building a house for the parents. So when he arrived at the airport, he was instead met with someone else because the brother wasn't there. And he decided to just go directly to the venue for the graduation the next day. And once there, he could not find the brother there. The surprise did not occur. That's when he decided to go back to the hotel and call the brother. And instead, the brother asked him, why are you in a hotel? He said, no, I wanted to surprise you yesterday, but I didn't get you. What happened? He said, no, I'm in Mombasa right now. Why are you renting right now? Did I tell you I have apartments? He said, what are you talking about? I thought you were at school. He said, no, let me send you a car. You know, what happened is when he reached home, the parents also didn't know what to talk to him about because they had kept it a secret. He kept sending money for this guy, and the guy didn't refuse to take the money. So until after 4 years, the fourth year is when he comes back and finds the parents are actually taking him to be more of the fool than the young person, because they're asking him, so what have you been doing all this time? Because the young brother had built a house in the village for the parents and had apartments, had some houses he bought in Imaradaima. So he was renting out houses, had an apartment, had a business going on, but no degree. And now that's the time he realized instead he had saved a lot of this money to the brother so that he can bring him up. But the final part is when they were sitting down in the evening. That's when it hit hard now. The parents were saying, so now how far are you now? What are you doing? He had nothing to say because now the parents were regarding him as someone who went to US and has been doing nothing. But the brother who stayed behind has actually done better than him. So this guy was now, he didn't want the atmosphere that he faced in Kenya. And coming back was a very cold and silent trip back because he didn't want to deal with his parents. He thought they betrayed him, and he also didn't want to deal with the brother. But then the money was already gone, and I don't know what he did next, but the relationship was cut short. So sometimes you may try to help people, but it may not be what you are planning to get because the scenario might be very different when you go back. So I'm just thinking if the scenario ends up being like that with Mr. Rock, then I advise him just to take advice of some people, build himself up, and then see what comes next. Because otherwise, if you keep sending money, not knowing what exactly is going to happen, you may end up having a road shop.
Hey, Samson, your story is very inspiring. Actually, if that had happened to one of my brothers, where instead of going to school, maybe they studied some business and they were doing good for now and they were supporting themselves, I would be extremely happy for them. You know, I wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah, but the funny part is this.
Hang on. So that's your takeaway from that story?
No, I'm just saying. I don't understand why the brother, why from Samson's story. I just don't understand why the brother in America would be would be so disappointed that his younger brother is now doing well and he's even supporting the parents.
Because just like you and me, we were being deceived. Almost similar story happened to me. And when I confronted my mom, she said, what are we going to do and your siblings? The whole time you're made believe you're helping, they are doing their own thing. This is nothing new you're telling us, bro. That's why we can tell when you're not telling us the whole story. The takeaway is not that they were able to do good with the money you're sending them. The story is they deceived you that they were in need when they were not. But I think you're so deep in it, it's like the religious people and their God, that you cannot see anything else other than what you want to see.
No, but George, my takeaway from the story, I think is different. My takeaway of the story is in the end, the money from the guy, I mean, did some good, and the guy should actually be even more proud of the brother for making some good use of money that he was sending.
We cannot change that. So that's your takeaway. We're going to respect it. Paul, were you done? Was that Paul from Uganda or Samson? So yeah, it was Samson. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I was almost done because what I was thinking is, I don't know exactly the situation with Mr. Rock, with his family, but what transpired with this guy was he had put everything here at a standstill. The money he was sending was not sending because he had money. He sent money because he thought he was going to pull up his brother. But when he went back, the scenario was different. The brother was thinking he was sending money because he had enough. So he was even expecting him to be much better. So what he found was somehow negative, because what happened, it was good to the people there, but to him it was bad that he was in a bad situation here, and the people there were not understanding that the money they are having is because of him. But right now they are thinking he's actually doing nothing, because the parents were asking him, so when are you trying to build here? When are you building your house? He could not explain.
And it's going to be the same thing, maybe 5-6 years later from today. And instead of when are you building your house, these guys are going to ask this guy here, when are you raising a family? When are you getting married and bring up children?
Exactly.
Because these guys sacrifice thinking he is helping a brother over there. And then they turn around and say, hey, when are you doing your own? So when the gig is over, that would be the feedback. When are you having your own children? When are you raising your own family? And maybe then he can wake up from this selective amnesia that he has.
Because George, that's actually one of my fears, is that if I decide to settle down and have a family, I will not be able to provide as much support as I am doing now.
So there's no problem here. Everything is good.
For now, since I don't have family,
as long as those nieces and nephews of yours stay alive, everything is good.
Yeah, since I'm helping, yeah.
Okay, we are going to pray with the rosary that God give them long life, so that you can have purpose on your end to support them. Then there is no problem anywhere, because that's the only thing you want to see. Let's show you that. Okay, have we trimmed this fat?
Yeah. I think things might end up changing. Like once I decide to settle down and stuff. But for now, or probably this is not gonna happen once I decide to settle down and have a family, because I will not have as much of spare change to to do other things.
Are you a Kikuyu?
No, I'm not a Kikuyu. No.
We have a Kikuyu saying that, back in the day they used to, and you can see it in Nigeria now, they used to pound fresh corn in a big stone container, and they would pound it until it became soft. And in a Kikuyu saying, they would say, instead of putting the corn, it would be like putting water in that thing, they call it dere, and beating it, expecting it to get any softer. It won't happen. So this is what happened with your story here. We are not changing anything. We are not going anywhere. You were where you are before we started this conversation. So when something changes, let us know. Moridi, you wanted to say something?
George, I actually wanted to ask you a question. If you're in the same shoe as this guy, wouldn't it be wiser for you to start a business where you can employ like your brothers as drivers and all that stuff, rather than sending the money? We've calculated the thing is around 2 M per month per year.
No, I think he would feel guilty making his brothers work. Get the cue, bro.
No, George, that's not true. If my brothers were working and making good money, I would be very proud of them.
And then they got disabled?
Sorry?
Did they get disabled?
They didn't get disabled, but the job.
We are going back now to beating the water to make it softer. We already had this conversation. It's you. It's not them. It's you, right? It's you who want to feel good helping.
So, George.
Go ahead, Moridi.
George, are you trying to say that as much as this guy is sending money back home, these guys are not they're not just chilling waiting for the money, they are also continuing their lives?
I think we are stuck here in some kind of I don't know. I'm trying to compare it with religion, but it's not enough insult. It's like some people who have these weird beliefs of religion, and you cannot unstuck them from it. And the more you try, the more you become the bad one. So I don't know if this guy is having some kind of tribal belief that we are not privy to. So we are flying blind here. There is no need to have this conversation anymore. This is Santiago, the bootleg Sudanese.
It's South Sudanese. Hey, what's up, George? Been a minute, man. How are you doing? You good?
I'm better than yesterday, man.
All right, man. I just love the conversation of black tax, because people are always like, it becomes like a debate. Like, why is it a debate? You guys, we're trying to help you.
So if you go on the comment section of the conversation we had about black tax, right? The one with Omosh and the cartoon comedian. You read the comment.
I can't see the comment section though. There's a plus.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the YouTube post on Andrew's Kibe YouTube.
No, I was just talking about in general the black tax general one. But
today, so Andrew has a post. Andrew has a post about black tax, and you can see the comment section. People saying, "I hear what you are saying, but I feel obligated to help this person and this person and this person because that's what Africans do. So we cannot push you out of it."
You know something? One thing I got to say, George, talking to you, talking to Kibe, we've always been talking about women and other things, and we got to be a man towards what's it called, because of the women situation. But I think the manliness that we've been talking about, the red pill should be in all cases. This situation that everyone's been talking about isn't a perfect example. Why I say that is the fact is you're also, everyone who can make money, they know they're getting played, but they still continue to get played. So I think that the red pill situation should not only refer to situations with women, it should also refer to the situation in your life. This situation is very simple. You've been helping, pat yourself in the back, you've done your job. And now suddenly the next month, the same situation. Sorry, I'm having trouble at work, or sadly, I've not been receiving my salary, and done. You're out. Nobody's going to ever come and nobody will punish you. And what you said is a very good point. You said that one day you're going to be broke. You come back to these people, nothing. They have nothing to give you. And also they're going to be telling you, oh, why aren't you refill why aren't you married? But I think it's a simple situation. It's just, hey, I've not received my salary since last month. I don't know what's going on. And then you're out. Simple as that. I don't know why. But let me tell you a story real quick. One of our, and I think about this is only for the young people, but it happens with old people too. I was surprised. One of my uncles, I was watching. We were in the house and relaxing. He got a call during the time we were with him, and he was there. And this guy's not smiles so much. He doesn't say I love you and everything. We're like, all right, that's pretty cool. What happened was he got a call from back home, and this other relative, oh my, thank you, and then he came with a huge smile on his face. We're like, what the? Uncle never smiled. What the fuck is going on? He said, oh, these people with their sweet tongues. He's saying if your father's alive, looking at you now, he'd be so proud. And this basically, he's my uncle, so I didn't say it to his face. But the nigga got played. And the relative was calling, saying, oh, if your father's alive, be looking at you now, you with your big boy stuff. What? I don't know what the fuck. But he felt so good to get that phone call of appreciation. And the funniest thing, most of the people here, they don't get that phone call of appreciation. Just do it. I feel good. I do it. James Brown, Mr. I Feel Good is dead. Why are you guys still trying to feel good? I don't get it. Back to you, George. I don't know. That's my thing.
I think it was Agent 44 who came up sometimes back, many months ago, and said, there is this formula you can use. Whoever is depending on you, tell them that you lost your job and you're going to be out of your luck for a few months. And then watch what happens. Nobody dies. I realized that. I realized that maybe 6 years in, that my phone calls are only good and people pay attention when there is, and this is the number to take to MoneyGram for you to withdraw money. And the phone call that did not have a reference number to go pick money, those conversations were very cold and very short. So, nikajijazia, I'm only as good as the help I'm sending. And when I stopped, I have not been invited to any funeral.
It's like you died, though. If I'm calling.
All right.
Ay.
All right. Who do we have here? Karanja.
Yes, George.
What's going on?
All right. Okay. I have just joined and found this conversation going on. And I have this submission to make, especially the one you're talking about, black tax. And George, let me ask you this question. When you are receiving this money demand, especially from your dad, it happens to be drunkard, and when you fail to send, he'll just find a way to come home drunkard, but now to pour his anger on your mother, thinking now because you're not sending the money to him, you are sending to your mother. How do you deal with that, George?
What does he need the money for?
Sorry?
What does he need the money for?
For example, there was this time, there was funeral somewhere. He didn't have fare. the fare to go there. So he called me and asked me to send the money. Even though I had the money, I decided not to send.
Why?
Reason because, okay, I have this younger siblings who are in school, who are primary and high school, and sometimes they get sent out of school because of lack of school fees. But he never called me to tell me, your brother is here at home because of lack of school fees. But you see, when somebody dies and they were not that close, he really wanted to put that as a priority. So for the reason as why I decided not to send, he used to call me when there were the most important things, maybe like taking part in paying school fees, I would have sent. But you see, I failed to send this one for the funeral, and then it became an issue.
So
Directed.
hang on. How did you know your siblings were sent home because of lack of school fees?
Okay, now when we talk with
Huh?
From my mother, I'll know that from my mother.
And how did they get school fees?
I'll chip in now through the mother. If I don't have, she'll just find a way to take them back to school.
All right. So that's the original problem. Everything else is a symptom.
Uh-huh.
You have.
What do you mean?
You have empowered your mother and weaponized her against your father. That's it.
So how am I supposed
Everything else is a symptom of that problem.
Okay, George, tell me this. How do I again detach myself from my mother? Because I think we have been so much close. And okay, I've been reasoning to this space, to eBay, in the YouTube, and there's this conversation we have been having about, especially being a red pill person.
Why are you walking away from the original story, bro? Why are you running away to something to red pill and answers? Let's stay here. Let's stay here.
Mm-hmm.
You said money to your mother instead of sending the money to your father.
Okay, I have my reasons.
When your father comes home drunk and start creating chaos at home, is because he's trying to agitate your mom because he knows you have sent the money to her and not him. Because your mom has poisoned you against your father, that he is irresponsible, he is a drunk, don't send him money, don't send him school fees, he's going to drink it. Send it to me. And now you're turning around and saying, how do you get him from that mess? You empower him, not his girlfriend.
Okay, George, you know there have been these incidents, you don't send it to your mom, you send it to him direct. But for example, if I send 10,000, he will divide. You see? You will not use the money for the purpose you intended.
Who?
The dad.
That's a symptom, not the problem.
Now how do I...
Because the original problem is you have been empowering his bitch. So he knows he can do whatever he want to do with 10,000 because he knows you sent the money to her. So it has to come from you. I am no longer sending anybody else money in this household. I am no longer listening to anybody else's problem unless I'm sending it to my father, unless the problem is being explained to me by my father. Everything you need, you woman, tell it to your husband and he will tell me. You children, anything you need, tell it to your dad and he will tell me.
And
if you shift those dynamics, then there will be no problem because now your father knows your mother is not getting money. And now your mother knows where the power is. With his husband, with her husband, not you, son husband.
All right.
So you have a problem you need to solve instead of doing these symptoms fixing. The original problem is you financially empowered your mom, and your father sees this in silence. And that disrespect, he takes it on your mom. And he refuses to spend the money when you said it to him for the intended purposes because he knows you empowers your mom. You came between them and you chose sides. And with the bickering and the incitement and the poisoning from your mom, you believe everything she says against your father. So you see your father as a drunkard, useless, irresponsible person who you cannot trust with money. Until you change that and not try to change him, you change your behavior. You change how you treat your father. Give him the respect he deserves. And then tell your mom, that is your guy. I'm not your husband.
All right. Oh, George, listen to this. Okay, about dealing with the dad, I have no problem with that, but I have this shit I've been struggling with, bitterness that have accumulated over the years due to that drunkard. It's something we found home growing from the time we were young. Now I'm 5. So besides refusing to send the money to the dad, the other reason is because I have this bitterness. I feel like he was not there for me when I needed. How do I go around that now?
How was he not there for you?
Okay, I don't know whether I'm the only one who ever experienced this in life, but my dad was like a demon. I don't know. Beating us, beating the mother, and not providing.
For no reason.
I would say for no reason.
Well, until you find what the reason is,
and then
then you're not gonna fix it.
The problem is, you see, I think with him, when he go and drink, it's like he also have these past issues disturbing him, because now he will say, my grandfather did not take me to school, did this and that. He pour that bitterness, also his bitterness, on us, and it has been happening ever since we were young. I can tell you, the high school I went, he does not know where it is. He didn't have to know it, but he contributed nothing. My high school, where I went to university, apart from asking, did you graduate? Did you finish? Nothing else. Not sending the upkeep money we used to receive when we were first years. So all my life, I've known my mother to be there for me.
Where did your mother get the money from?
From farming. She's just a farm.
In whose farm?
Grandfather's. My dad, the shamba is still under the grandfather, but he's just there because it's given to the father now by our grandfather.
Is your mom there because of your grandfather?
No.
Is in that farm because of your father?
Yes.
But you cannot even give the credit where it's due. You have to bypass to grandfather, so you don't give your father credit, so that you don't attach that the farm produce is from your father's land. Oh, no. The title is not in his name. It's in my grandfather. Come on, bro.
Apart from the thing now you're saying, do you want to tell me now, because the farm belongs to his father, he didn't even do any work? Like, okay, the farm is there, and the person who used to till it is the mother. The father will just come to squander the outcome. You see, like, if you have ever seen the farms that they farm maize, then it is harvested at the end of the year, maybe in November, December. That's when he reappears again. You see that, George?
It's his farm.
But hey, all right. So I was just supposed to understand it is his farm.
No, you need to solve the original problems, bro, and not mislabel symptoms of problems as if they were problems themselves. There's so many symptoms of the original problem. And now you have forgotten what the original problem was, and you have mislabeled symptoms of the original problem as if they were the problems themselves, and you are consumed in trying to solve those symptoms, and you can't. And then there is what you perceive happened and what your mother told you happened.
What do you think would have happened?
Ask your father.
We are never in good terms with my dad.
Well,
Mr. George, if you allow me to ask Karanja.
go ahead.
Karanja, how many siblings are you?
We are 9.
We are 9.
Yes, and I'm
And
the third,
you are number what among these 9? You are the first?
third born.
You are the third born.
Yes,
So is your mom and dad still living together?
yes.
Okay. So your dad is this wicked human being, drunkard, aggressive, but leaving him is where your mom draws the line. He is all these bad things, but leaving him is where your mom draws the line. Have you asked yourself why your mom has never left, and is not even planning to leave?
You know, okay, Felix, to answer you
Yes, sir.
that, she has come from this, the kind of marriage that used to be there, the African marriage, where a woman cannot go back to where she was born because maybe her father maybe divided the property, maybe he's not even alive. You cannot go back to where you came from. So you find these kind of mothers have been persevered in the homes they got married for lack of space. You do not have gone
Mr.
anywhere
Karanja,
yet.
Mr. Karanja,
Yes, sir.
if I was an artist who draws images and you came to me and you told me to draw a picture of what I see, and you are the one in front of me, and I drew a snake, what would you say?
You have drawn a snake.
And will you marry it with what you told me?
Will I?
Will you connect it with what because you told me to draw an image of you and I drew a snake. What will your thinking be?
I don't get you, Felix. I don't know what you're meaning.
Of course you won't get me. So what I mean is, whatever from what I hear from your tone, your voice, and the intent of it is that your mom is not evil. Your mom is this hardworking woman who has been there for you, all the 9 of you. And your dad is the evil one. In fact, is the brother of Satan. So the another part of what I get from you is a young individual who has undergone serious preconditioning and now has his harm. Can I say you are? Oh, okay. You have your mother's voice as the only voice of reason, and that your dad's voice must always be in the background and should never be on the forefront. And your father is aware of that. That is why it gets to him, and that is why maybe he drinks, because he knows that the mother despises him and the mother has poisoned the children against him. So whatever he can say will never be understood and will never be taken as a voice of reason. So the first step is for you to do is change the voices of reason in your mind. I know it's not, it's not an easy task anyway, but the first step would be removing the voice of your mom from your head as the voice of reason. That will be the first step. Until you do that, you will be having all these problems and you will be at crossroads on what to do like you are now. So the first thing you should do, get that voice out of your head. See your mom like any other woman in the village, because if you see her in that sense, then you will reason out with her and you will tell her this thing you do is wrong, this other one you are doing is right. This is how we can work going forward, and this is how we are not going to work going forward. Just listen, man. Tell your dad, ask your dad his perspective about life, because I know you don't talk to him because of all that preconditioning and the other things you have seen. Maybe you have seen him beat your mom. I don't deny that. But after beating the mom, do they go again and sleep in the same bed, or your mom has a separate bedroom?
Same.
Oh, so this nigga beats your mom, and at night your mom goes to the same bed, same blanket, and you believe your mom and not your dad.
Tell me this one thing. The woman
Yes.
you are talking about is the one you have known for the rest of your life in terms of providing anytime you needed anything. She was the one who was there for you. And like you are saying, maybe that was preconditioning. But how do we begin now to get her outside of your head? Now the way you are saying, her voice, the only voice in my head. How do we start getting it out?
Felix.
He started doing yes.
Felix.
Yes.
Let me just chime in kidogo. Karanja,
Yes.
When you say that your mom was providing everything, where was she getting the money?
From the
You
farm,
say
right?
that the only time, yes, whose farm was it? It is your father's farm. So already your mother has been given an avenue for her to provide for the family. If she was married to another person without a farm, there would be no provision. Number two, why haven't you guys ever thought of saving your mother? What your mother is doing, your mother is having the both of both worlds. She has a warm bed, and on this side, she's receiving a lot of sympathy and resources from the children. So that is why she's trying to keep both she's keeping her husband and she's keeping you on her side so that she has all the allies. Otherwise, you people would have ganged up together, at least the five of you, the first five siblings, would have ganged up together, get some shillings, do a harambe, and transfer your mother to a better living place. But she wouldn't agree, and deep down you wouldn't do it the same, because you know you would not give her what dad is giving her. So please stop seeing your father as the demon and take a few steps back, take some courage, have some balls, and go buy that alcoholic man you claim some drink and listen to him for one, and you will understand. Don't wait until you're a father for you to say, oh my God, this bastard was right. Do it now before it gets too late.
And to make matters worse, Karanja,
yes,
you see the life of your father, if you don't make it right with him now, you are going to lead the exact same life with your woman. So you better make it right now. I know you think you are a good guy. You think you are a better person and you cannot be like your father. But you will, in fact, you will have the same woman as your mother, the wicked one. So you are going to start playing around the lifestyle of your father. So before then, I'm assuming you are not married yet.
not yet married.
Oh yeah. So before you get married, make peace with your dad. He's alcoholic, you have said. So one day just buy him an alcohol, a very good bottle, and listen to his stories. And then make peace with your mom. Tell your mom, my mom, for all these years of preconditioning and indoctrination, I forgive you. I now have realized that you are wicked, because this nigga was doing all this, but you never left. You kept on sleeping beside him, maybe naked at night. This man is banging you left, right, and center. While during the day, what we see is you and him fighting. First of all, you forgive your mother and see her as a woman, so that you can reason As it is now, I know you cannot reason with your mothers because she will lecture you. Oh, you know, if it was not for me, you could not have gone to university. If it was not for me, could be the father could be even giving her money during the bedtime, and you don't know. All you see is her going to the farm. The father gave her an enabling environment to make good use of that farm. If that father was evil, he could have kicked her out in the first place, but he never did. So you can't see your father as the evil here. At least you have taken him that for so long, but from today onwards, understand your father's perspective of things, and the only way to do so is to talk to him. Doesn't matter your ego now, because as at now you can fend for yourself, and that's why you're telling us you're sending money home. So sit down your dad, give him some good environment, and the father will open up to you and he will tell you whatever you need to hear. He will tell you. Seek advice from him. Tell him, Dad, I was thinking of this and this and that over that bottle of beer. That you will find out that it is the best dad you would ever have in this world. But for your mom, I am sorry, she's wicked and manipulative at that. So whatever we are telling you here is that forgive your mom. Start seeing her as any other woman outside there, because when you start doing so, then she will not be coming to your head and guilt-tripping you by, oh, if it was not me, you couldn't have done that. If it was so, your case is almost similar to the Rock's case, where now his brothers are telling him, or all over his years, you know, if we didn't drop out of school, you couldn't have gone to America. You know, if we didn't drop out of school and start Mjengo to Nini, what, you could not have made it in life. So you should send us money. That is what your mother is doing. In as much as you want to clothe it with the good words, blah, blah, blah. What I hear is a woman manipulating his son into doing her bidding. Yes.
Felix,
Yes, sir.
you see what have been happening with you have given a statement. You have said guilt tripping me.
Yes.
Okay, maybe she have never told me like I took you to the university, blah blah blah. I have done this for you. I think now what I should do should become this because I think it has been coming from me, from my side. You see, it's like I want to carry the burden, even helping the children. I feel like I should chip in.
Okay.
Should I now stop caring? I focus first of all. I deal with my life. Whatever happens with the rest of them, I don't care. Should I be like that? Because she has never guilt tripped me as such, but I think she has taken advantage of maybe my personality of just wanting to help.
Okay.
Now should I stop caring? Like, what should I do?
Do you know why I know he has conditioned you to be sending her money?
Huh?
Because you said you are sending to your father and your mother, and you stopped sending to your father and started now sending to your mother because your mother told you that your father is now misusing money, drinking alcohol, not sending money for its intended purpose. And so that still brings me to the point I said, in your head, the only voice of reason you know is your mother's voice. And so whether she's, women can say things without saying things. She can tell you to send her money without saying so. She doesn't have to tell you, oh, send me money. No, she just have to pull a string here and there, and you will be there sending money like the way you are doing now. So on my side, what I would tell you, if these siblings cannot die if you don't send them money, if your mother cannot die if you don't send her money, then Give yourself some time, maybe 1, 2, 3 months, and then you might have another different opinion. So, and if you have to ask for any other opinion from home, if you need to ask how things are going on from home, do that through your father. Tell him, hey, Dad, how is everything there? If you want to talk to your mom, talk to her through your father, so that the dad will now start taking responsibility. We will now see, okay, so I am now the man of the house. Everything goes through me. Just that slight change will have a serious effect on that mzee, and he will start behaving. Go through your father. That's
All
my...
right.
All right, gentlemen. Let's bring in a couple more people into this conversation. I see Brian Ingudi is back. He's back from his love affair. Brian, how are you?
Morning, Kibe.
Are you in love? Where have you been, bro?
My mornings have been a bit hectic. I was mostly on the listening panel, just listening, absorbing the knowledge. I put more premium on listening. When you listen, you get something that you never knew. When you talk, you only hear whatever you know. So I just been on the listening panel for most of the mornings. Also gratitude to George. See, the gentleman, I don't know, it's called Karanja or whatever. Mr. Karanja, I think you would want to succeed in life, yes?
Of course, yes.
Can you succeed when you are dead?
No. How?
Can you succeed when you do not exist?
Of course, no.
Exactly. Your existence is due to the fact that your father ejaculated into your mother. Your father is the reason you are here. Regardless of whatever has been said, regardless of the programming, you are here because of your father's ejaculation process. Regardless of what has been said that he was this, he was that, but he is the one who banged your mother. He's the one whose sperm formed you. You are here because of your father's pumping efforts. If he didn't pump enough, you would not be here. Your father is your platform of you succeed because he's responsible of you being here. If the entity called Karanja never existed, all these things about plan, whatever you're doing, would be null, void, negated, non-existent, zero. Do not even know about you. So, first order of business, be logical. That person that is being told that is like this, is like that, is like what? If he were not for his efforts, if he would have opted to put a condom, if he had opted to wank, you would have been a non-entity today as we speak. Concerning sending money, I want you to give respect to the Institute of Marriage. I want you to take that home as a republic. You have lived there, but now, by virtue of you moving away, you are an outsider. You are an external party. No matter how rotten or broken down a country is, there is no way external entities do business with a country without the say-so of the president. Even if it is the banana republic or a coconut republic, the president is the say-so. You have to recognize the authority of the president of that marriage, who is your father. Push everything through your father. If it is any communication, through your dad. If there's a problem of distribution of resources, let it be solved in-house, within. They ask for something, talk to dad. I believe your mom and your dad are adults. They were girlfriend, boyfriend. They have progressed to whatever they are now. So it is highly unlikely that they'll be unable to solve those issues with the recognition of the dad as head of state in that state, wherever they are. So first order of business, maintain protocols. If there's going to be any resources that will be sent in that direction, it has to go through Mzee. If there's any question to be asked, or distribution, let it be solved in-house, in a house that you're not part of. Don't start behaving like some of these puny donors who come here, they give money, then they come poking into a country's sovereign affairs. There's no way a donor can bring money into the government through an MP, yet we have a president there, we have a ruling system. So there's no way you can be channeling money to your mother or to so-and-so, yet there's a head of state there called your dad. That's a very serious breach of protocol. Right now you think you're a good thing. Wait till you grow old. Then your children start sending money to your mother, and or they send money to other people, yet you are there. You'll know how it pinches. So first order of business, recognize where you came from. Recognize the fact that the efforts you are making to succeed in life are due to the fact that you are first and foremost existing. As a process, you are existing as a result of your father's ejaculation. That is number one. There's no argument, even if he's a punch drunk or whatever they call this word, deadbeat, which is a very subjective word, because you normally hear deadbeat, you never hear the other story. Deadbeat comes from the woman. You never hear the man's side. It's just some lot of sensationalism. So first order of business, reorganize your communication protocols, reorganize your resource channeling protocols to go through the head of that state. Then the state will sort itself out automatically. As long as they know that money is coming into this house through the government of that place, which is your dad, that state will sort itself out. Don't worry. The most important thing, whatever was asked for you, you were able to assist, send the assistance through the relevant channel, the dad. Then from there, those are not kids, those are not nursery school toddlers squabbling over biscuits. Those are fully functional adults, and it's human nature for an adult or adult to sort their issues. It will be sorted on their own as a republic on its own. So put away these stories of, I don't know, this one was like, you were never there, you didn't. Most of it is just a picture that has been painted for you for your entire period of existence. It's a very difficult picture to erase. So don't erase that picture. Throw away the canvas. That canvas is corrupt. Don't even bother deleting the painting or changing the name. No, just throw away the entire canvas and the board and the chalk and the paintbrush. Just stick to the protocol. That is why you can give a case study. There's this bunch of puny Kenyans writing to the World Bank, don't send loans to Kenya. The World Bank doesn't deal with citizens. World Bank with the governments. So now that you are in the business of assisting your parents, which is okay, treat yourself as World Bank, treat your father as the government, and the mother and the rest of me as the citizens. You deal with the government. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.
All right, Karanja.
Yes, Kibe.
Is any of this making sense to you?
Very, 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 very making sense.
Yeah. So you've been interfering with your father's family. You can see that now.
I didn't see that way, but now I can see.
Yeah, and many of us have destroyed our father's relationships by going straight to the mother, because what you do is you empower the mother to destroy the man, and in turn you destroy your whole family, because now once your family, the father is destroyed, then he cannot handle his woman, and then the woman in turn, when she takes the power away from him, then she uses that power now to destroy the family.
All right, I get it now.
Yeah, so if there's anything, then you need to be very clear about how you're channeling your resources. Just like Brian has told you. And the rest of the men here as well. Even for you, Rock, you guys have to know this word called no. It doesn't matter who is asking you. If it is a no, it is a no. Whether it is your child or your mother, if it is a no, it is a no. Because it is all about you. You're doing what's in the best interest for you. Okay? It's always about you. It always has to start with you. Is it in my best interest to send money to these people? Is it in my best interest? No, it's not in my best interest to send money to you. And then men don't have this thing of feeling guilty, because that guilt is not a good thing. A guilt is manipulation. When you feel that guilt, that I'm feeling guilty, I need to send this because they did this for me, that's manipulation. You shouldn't be manipulated into doing anything. You should do it out of your own, thinking. That there's, like maybe even like what George was telling you, pay it forward. I mean, you did for me. I cannot go back and do for you. You did for me when you did for me, but you didn't do for me so that I can come back and do for you. What kind of manipulative bullshit is that, bro? There's once my mom told me, after I sacrificed for you, I told her, man, you're my mother. How dare you tell me you sacrificed for me? How dare you put that burden on me and tell me you sacrificed for me? How dare you tell me that? Parents shouldn't have to tell their children that. You shouldn't have to tell your kids that you've done so much for them. That's what you're supposed to do. It's your responsibility. They're your kids. They didn't exist. You made them exist. So you take responsibility. So if your dad has anything he wants to say, in fact, you can even jumpstart their whole life by telling them, listen, you know what? There's too much confusion here, Dad. And until you guys sort yourself out, I'm not sending anything. Okay? So you, Dad, you handle your business. If you have something to tell me, you can call me. Let's talk. But until you guys sort yourself out, this is too much confusion. You cannot be sending a man's wife money. You're going to destroy the man. All right. Karanja, anything else before I go to Ezra?
Maybe along that line also. So when the setup has been like that for the rest of my life, the life I've lived, that strained relationship with your dad. And you see it like he's not playing part in your education and the rest. So what I decided to do in 2020, we had this meeting at now the grandfather's place. And I wanted to bury like him, if there was anything I ever did wrong to him, for him to forgive me, you see. And the reason I wanted that to happen, I wanted now to cut myself from him. Any other interaction between me and him will be just greetings, nothing more, nothing less. Was that the best way to deal with a strained relationship? Because I just wanted peace of mind.
And then did you do the same for your mom?
We had no issues with mother. It was only dad.
Oh, so you have no issues with the fact that your mom has been pushing you away from your dad?
I didn't see that until now. You have exposed it to me.
Because you're the child. There's nothing the child does to the parents. Okay?
Huh?
So the children don't go apologizing to the parents saying, if I did anything to you. Fuck, these are the parents, bro. They are the ones who did to you.
Why I'm saying that is sometimes if the dad is drunkard and he comes home and he has these pains, obviously he will use some words that are not so sweet to you. The so-called the thing.
Bro, before you give me all that nonsense, you have so much guilt and so much noise in your head. Okay? Remember, these are your parents. You grew up because of them. So how you grew up is on them. You understand?
All right.
Yeah, how you grew up is on them. How you behaved and everything is on them. If anybody is to feel guilty, it is them. In the Swahili tradition, the Swahili saying, mtoto umleavyo. Exactly. So why would you feel guilty about how you've turned out, yet it is your parents' responsibility about how you've turned out? Okay? But now that you're a grown-up, now you can take charge of your own life, but the guilt is not yours. So don't go apologizing to people. I'm sorry for... what are you sorry for? Yeah, you behaved the way your dad behaved. If you had behaved better, you would have behaved better. But the problem is not on you. So I want you to forgive these people for the damage they have done to you, especially your mother. Because your mother got into your head. And now she has given you these spectacles, these shades. That whenever you look at your dad, you see this evil, lazy motherfucker who is busy destroying his wife, who is your mother, every day. And now you have to pump your mom with all this money to protect her against this evil man who is your dad that she has never been able to walk away from. You don't know what kind of discussions they have in the bedroom. How many kids are you?
10.
10?
Yes.
From the same mom and dad?
Yes.
Your mom is very evil. Your mom is your mom is the devil, and you need to disconnect from her as soon as possible. Because you know what? If it was one child, you are the only one. Maybe then your dad would be that nonsense guy that she has made him to see him in your eyes. 10 kids, bro.
Yeah, 10.
And she never walked away.
No.
10 kids and she never walked away, and yet she's standing to say he's bad. Bro, there's some story here you're not being told. All right, Mariam, are you here?
And Andrew, real quick before Mariam speaks, because this guy seems to be receptive, right? He will now look back and see that his mother has been stepping between him and having relationship with other girls, because that would take him away from her. So search your heart and see those things now clearly for yourself.
All right, George.
Mariam, go ahead.
Hello, George.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. We've missed you on this week.
You should have sent me nudes on Titties Tuesday. And you didn't.
No, thank you.
Well, then you didn't miss me.
I did, actually. I did. I was wondering where you could appear. I see you on YouTube all the time.
I've been busy.
Yeah, anyway, I'm feeling a bit guilty because I was here to discuss something very different.
Take us there.
Yeah, but first, I think what you said, George, earlier, we need to accept that there are men who are actually very weak and evil out here. Don't just rubbish the thought that there's this man who could be very bad and very responsible. And I don't think it would be good for this guy to continue enabling his father if he's an irresponsible drunk. They're there. Come on, these men exist. So I think what he needs to do is to disentangle from the whole situation. Their problems are not his problems. Their decisions to be together for all this time are not. I mean, it has nothing to do with him. He needs to move on from their whole situation and be an adult and see them when it's only necessary. He doesn't need to help them. Just disentangle and move on with your life. That's it, actually. But, George and Kibe, I wanted to find out something. It's a totally different and related topic. Am I still on?
Yes.
Oh, I came across something yesterday that was very interesting. I don't know whether you've heard about it. Do you know of a woman called Lilith?
What's her name?
Lilith.
In what relation?
Lilith is a woman who apparently was Adam's first wife, huh? And according to, I'm sorry, am I allowed to talk about this? Because it's totally unrelated to what you're discussing today. But it's what I had in my head.
It's throwaway Thursday, so you want to throw Adam under the bus.
I was very surprised to see that, and I've seen in the Bible, it looks like it could be true, that there's a woman who was created with Adam. Because it's in Genesis 1, I think 24 or 26, somewhere there, that a woman was created alongside Adam. However, according to the Jews, this woman refused to lay below Adam. That's missionary, right? Because she felt like she was equal to Adam. So that was the first divorce that happened in the Bible. And this woman walked away. Is it something you've actually heard of?
Sorry, I was muted. I'm seeing it now for the first time.
But you've Googled and you've seen something like that, right?
I Googled the phrase, she was created by God, and it pulled up a story.
That's crazy, right?
George.
Yes.
George. I think the Bible story is not about the first man or first woman. It's about the first Jew, and it's about the first Jews. It has nothing to do. It's not about the first man. It is about the first Jew. It is just like Kikuyu and Mobi. It's about the first Kikuyu. It's not necessarily about the first person. That is what we need. So, because the children of Adam got married, right? But where did they get married from? Was it an incest thing? It is very vague. So these people came from another tribe or another region. So it's not about, this story is not about the first person. It's about the first Jews. So even this Lily you're talking about is just a woman who was maybe from another tribe and refused to conform with certain cultural connotations of Adam, and that is why she went and maybe got Eve from another.
Ralph, let me ask you, Rafa.
Yeah.
Why do people insist on talking about this story about Lilith and the fallen angels and the demons? Why is this important, even for Mariam to bring it up? Why is that important?
Can I answer that?
Okay. Just go on, George.
Go ahead, Rafa.
The reason is simple. Is because the human accountability for their stupid actions. Where is this? I need to disconnect this guy.
So Lilith is who? Lilith is
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah.
Hello.
Wait.
Hello, I'm back.
Rafa.
Sorry. I got a phone call. Oh, sorry.
This guy. So who is Lilith first?
Human.
Rafa, slow down. Who is Lilith?
Kibe. No one really cares. The thing is, humans don't want to take accountability for their bullshit. So whenever things go wrong, they're always like, you know what? The devil made me. When they fail, they say, God has, when they fail to do something, they say, oh, God has a reason for everything going the way it is, So the reason why it is so important for there to be a religious connotation is, one, to always have a fallback plan for your stupidity. Number two, to keep hope alive. That's it. Nothing else. That's it.
All right. So what Mariam said here was that this woman refused to be beneath the man. Right? Mariam?
Yes, George. Yes, the first feminist, actually, yes.
Bingo. That's what I was going to say. So the feminists now have gone and looked for a legend they can attach their rebellion to. And it's not just your other born out of a womb, made out of a limb woman. This one was created by your God alongside the man. We are equal.
George,
that is the consolation. And I just heard about her 2 minutes ago. But the reason they are bringing that is the consolation to attach with their rebellion. And now they're going to be calling themselves daughters of Lilith. At the end of the day, when everything is said and done, it's all bullshit.
By the way, I've just seen that Daughters of Lilith. I've just seen it.
There are Daughters of Lilith now?
No, I'm just saying I've seen how the women are going to say we are fundamental.
It's coming from Mariam.
No, George. I'll tell you. George, let me come back.
And Mariam's first submission was, hey, you guys have been able to unravel what this guy's mother has put in his head for 25 years. I
George,
need to come in there and say, oh, no, there are actually some evil men. And then
George,
you went ahead
it had no connection.
and unveiled 2023 God of
George,
the lesbians and the feminists.
Let me explain something. You know, when this topic came up yesterday, I mean, we were just having a random discussion, and someone just happened to say that, but Eve was Adam's second wife, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Then the whole discussion came about. I thought about Andrew because it was very interesting. It has nothing to do with what we were discussing earlier. That's why I said I feel guilty because I wanted to actually bring up something very different from what you were discussing. Why I found it very interesting is because this woman who was created equal to Adam refused to refused to submit to Adam, and God had to go to plan B and get a rib, a suitable woman, as it's written in the Bible itself, suitable woman, removed a rib to not make this woman equal. Eve was not equal to Adam. But Lilith was equal to Adam. Are you understanding what I'm saying, George? It had nothing to do with...
Wait until Maboko discovers there is a Lilith.
Now, Lilith went and laid down with Satan himself. So maybe it's true that all these evil people... but she went and actually laid down with the devil himself. So I found it interesting. I just thought about Kibe because I was like, okay, Kibe always talks about some crazy things, but this is very interesting. That's it. Nothing to do with the previous story.
Sorry. Tuma. Igundi Juma, you have your hand up.
Now, with respect to what Mary, I want gentlemen to try and connect the dots between what Mariam has said and yesterday's night's Andrew Kibe show, where he was talking about why men should put marriage or generally relationships with women out of the picture. There you have it. You get married. This is the psychological sewage pit you are signing up for. Yesterday you were watching those two video clips. Maybe they would have been doubters, but now, as you heard from the just concluded submission, get married, start dating, and prepare for the most fantastic, stinking dungeon of a dustbin that you'll find yourself in. Thank you so much.
Tato.
Hey, Brian, bro.
Brian has some of the best submissions out here. That is for real.
Okay, go ahead, Tato.
Great discussion, gentlemen. And George, just to weigh in on what you mentioned, the fact that now it's been biblicalized, we go into a deeper spiral. And because of the psychology of the biblical script and religion, etc., now because it's mentioned somewhere, we must now feel that this is true. So there is a reason why there should be, a woman or women that think like that, or rather feminism. That is why it is there. So that's why I'm saying, I think the creative writers of back in the day, when they were trying to relay certain stories, to teach certain lessons, and they'd make up certain stories, whether they took them from Egypt or not, but I guess they were relaying certain stories. Now, this generation, we've taken it to heart, and we're trying to reason and adapt current situations to say this is why this is happening because it was in that story, only to find out that that was just a group of people trying to survive at the time or teach each other lessons for that period. And the Africa now has taken this to the next level. And in a few, I'll be definitely Googling and researching this story that Miriam just mentioned, because watch the space. A lot of, theories are going to start to come out now, especially from the feminist movement. But I just wanted to touch on the discussion before this and just say, one thing that I've also realized is, as men, you become a true man by also just having those real discussions with your parents. And, with your parents, that's as real as it gets. Like Brian mentioned, your father, that is how you came to be. Your mother gave birth to you. But you need to understand, these two were an item way before yourself. And you can't really get too involved in their affairs. But as it is, when we're still growing up and you're at your puniest state, we tend to, to listen to all the noise. And sometimes it does come from the mother's side. The father will be rebelling, etc. But what I've realized and learned is you have to sit these people down together and have those separate discussions and not really involve yourself too much in their affairs. And there is a certain protocol. I mean, a father leaves the family. He would have taken you to school or done that. Yes, he's got certain faults. But you know what? You live and you let go and you learn from those mistakes that he might have made, but you cannot cancel him out regardless of what state he's in or the decisions he's made in the previous life. And sometimes when your mother or aunt say certain things, you need to take it with a pinch of salt, and step back and say, look, I'm not really involved in this. I'm not in this relationship. But I see it from my angle. But there's still a certain protocol one has to follow. That's my submission, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tato. And this thing of feeling that you want to save your mother against this evil man that is your father, who was very, so there's that guilt that men feel, and you should not feel that guilt at all because it is none of your business.
100%.
She's a grown-up just like you. If you wanted to walk away, she would have walked away. So she decided to stay. And look at someone like Aranja. The mother gave birth to 10 children, bro. At least if it was one, we would say the man is bad. But 10.
When that was confirmed, I also stood back and said, hey, wait a minute, dude. This is deeper than you'll ever know. You need to kind of take a step back and say, hey.
She is so evil. She created an army for herself from this guy.
Yeah, and the poor father, sometimes, fathers get sidelined. And sometimes it's because of this whole alcohol thing that the mothers have drilled in the kids. You say, oh, your father is a drunkard, he's a this, is a that. And then you sideline the father only to find that, look, have discussions with the man and hear his story. And yes, some men are into their drink, but he's managed to get this far. He's managed to raise you. That's the battle he's fighting. It's not yours to fight, and it's not for you to judge,
And
because you're going to have your own battles, like Brian.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, like Brian said, I think it was Brian. He said, once you become a father one day, you'll realize the pain that you'll experience should your kid sideline you, or should you make certain decisions similar to your father. I think Felix mentioned the same thing. Then you'll realize how painful it is that you're being sidelined by your own kids, and you'll know the reasons, but you'll feel powerless. So it's important to make peace with your parents, especially as men, with our fathers. And once you cross that bridge, you literally just see your father as another human being who did the best that he could. And in fact, you can learn from certain mistakes he's made and take the good. But to just sideline him and say he's nothing, it's not possible for any human being to reach that state or be worthless,
Yeah, and then just to imagine if you're in the city, or you've gone out into the world to make your life, and you've left your dad and your mom, and now your dad probably he has his pension maybe of about, they don't get much, maybe $70-$80 a month. Okay. Yeah. So he has his small pension there. He's able to buy a few things in the house. He's not paying rent because they live in the village.
Yes.
And all the kids are busy jumping up and down trying to make a life for themselves. And then you start sending money to his wife.
Exactly.
And then now you're sending more than he's even making. And then now you expect him to still remain the power in the house.
Exactly. Andrew, I think it was yourself or George that said you are empowering your mom, and your father is not getting this. It's probably infuriating him. Yes. So now imagine your dad is going out there chilling with his friends who are his age, and they're having one or two, and the other father is stating that, yo, my son sent me this, he's doing well, he's doing 1, 2, 3, my son is doing this. And your father is sitting there looking at the situation saying, shit, my son doesn't do this for me, you know. Instead, he sends the money to his mom. Can you imagine how that would make you feel?
You know, your father's marriage or his family would remain intact if you sent nothing. But here you are, thinking that you're helping, yet you're destroying him and his family.
Yeah, it's important to get
maybe that's
closer
why.
to-
Maybe that's why he's a drunkard the way he is.
A true story, very true. Because I mean, and that's the thing, you know, we start having these egos and we try and challenge our fathers and go against them. Whereas you realize this is the man that actually raised me, you know. I need to step back and take a few lessons here. Perhaps I may learn something.
You cannot challenge your dad in his own house, bro. So what you do is, if you're a man and your mother wants anything, she has to ask your father for it.
Yeah, no, very true.
She cannot come direct to you. You're a man. Come on, your mother cannot be coming to you as a man. Imagine, imagine now, Tato, your wife starts calling me directly, asking me for chums.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a problem, man.
It's gonna be a problem, yeah. All right, Tato.
No, it's gonna be cheers, gentlemen. Great one.
All right, thank you. Let me hear from Edwin. Edwin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Actually, I just came to the speaker panel because of what I heard, the story of Lilith. I just want to say something on that. Because I believe people are mixing what the Bible says and also what this Kabbalah ideology says on the story of Adam and Eve and the story of Lilith. That story of Lilith does not exist anywhere in the Bible. If you read for yourself, the problem is that people are not reading for themselves. People are being told what the Bible says. Go read anywhere where these people are saying that there is a biblical evidence of the person called Lilith. It does not exist. Miriam said that in there's a place where I think it's in Genesis 1, where God said, Genesis 1 verse 12, and God created, verse 20, verse what? Where, Genesis 1 verse 26, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our own likeness. And God created, verse 27, God created man in his own image, in the image of God created him, male, female created he them. Now, these people who are pushing for Lilith, they're using this verse to make an assumption that this is the place where Lilith was created. But if you understand how the Bible is written, the Bible is written in, let me give an example. Like in Genesis 1, it says, in the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. That's a summary statement. Then in verse 2 onwards, it starts to expound what God created. It's called like Hebrew parallelism. It's the first statement. It's like it gives a summary. Then the second statement, and it gives more light to what was being spoken of. So when you read Genesis 1 verse 27, when it says God created man in his own image, created he created male and female. When now you go to verse chapter 2, it now explains in detail what God created. It does not. It now explains who was created. It was Adam and Eve. How Adam, the detail of what happened. Now, people I think are being misled when they're being told that the story of Lilith is supported in the Bible. It's not supported in the Bible. Maybe in those Jewish mysticism, it is there. Like the religion of Kabbalah, they have their own understanding. But biblically, if you're using the Bible, that story does not exist. So if people are going to refer to the Bible, refer to it correctly. If you're going to refer to Jewish mysticism, refer to it. Don't mix the two.
So there's no Bible that has Lilith, eh?
It does not exist. In the Bible itself, if you read it the way it is, it's not there.
Lilith, the night demon. All right. George, you want to say something about this? I know you're very passionate. Not passionate, really, but I know you have information about... I know there's a day we were talking and George just jumped on that thing and he was so excited about talking about Lilith. And which demons fell from heaven.
I didn't know about Lilith 15 minutes ago.
Bro, you've talked about her before.
No, I have talked about the twin siblings of Cain and Abel.
Yes.
Totally different family.
Oh, that wasn't Lilith.
No, this is a creation of the feminists and the lesbians to have their own parallel human who is equal to a man. This is where it's coming from.
Imagine when I heard Mariam saying that, I was like, what?
Bro, that's exactly where I went to. This is... Now, it's the pop culture now. It's what is in everybody's lips. You wait for 2 weeks. That will be the unisex name now of the lesbians and the short-haired bimbos.
Foundational
women.
Yes.
Yes. We are same as you.
Detaching themselves from the rib.
Yes.
Saying you are not the reason why we are here.
And it could not have come at a better time. It's their moment to shine.
We were here. We have as much right to be here just like you.
Yep. And if we revolted against God,
who the fuck
are
you?
Think you are? I was telling you the other day, I was showing you like the top 10 news personalities that have been taken down in America. And most of them had a woman involved, right?
Yes.
And Bill O'Reilly is one of them. He had 18 years running as the best TV show in America, period. And it had to be a woman to come say something for him to be dethroned. And I was telling you, Andrew Tate has lived such a life that there is no woman who can claim to be a victim. And he brags them about women, and he brings women on his sets, and he do all these things. But he is so careful, probably because of modern technology, that there is no individual woman who has come to cry for. So what did the daughters of Lilith do? They all became the victims.
Mm-hmm.
Your words. We are now victims of your words. Because there is no single woman to take him down. Now, all the women became the victim of what he says or doesn't say. And it was enough to take him down.
And the world will watch as this man is burning. I see they're also doing the same with the Ye. Have you seen that?
Oh, bro, it's the same thing I have always told you. The easiest way to go is to fuck up with the Jews.
But before you get to the Jews, think about this. How did they break him? This guy who has all this potential, this mad genius. Yeah, he started from nothing, from the south side of Chicago.
Mr. Kibe, on the year thing, I think unaona yeah could be a genius that we don't know of yet. Why am I saying so? This guy for the longest time has been crying for that these big establishments are making money off his back. Imagine has a product with them, and then they hold a meeting about that product without Ye's knowledge. So what does Ye do? Ye wants to disengage, but without being indebted to them. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
Without owing them money. So yeah, that's what. Yeah, first of all, abuses this Black Lives Matter nigger, this thief who was killed.
What's
And
his
then he
name?
doesn't.
The one who couldn't breathe, George Floyd.
I can't breathe the Floyd one.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't make so much news. So yes, he says, "Oh, what else can I say so that these people can cancel me?" And then the nigger attacks the Jews. And then now every other person is canceling him, including. I heard that they also canceled this netball. Is it volleyball team he has for the kids? They canceled that.
No
so,
way.
No,
they did.
It's a private school.
Yeah. So
I had
my understanding,
he has a private school named after his mother.
Yes, that one they've also cancelled. My understanding is, want to disengage from this establishment, but without all the money.
Oh, so wait. So Ye was he wanted them to cancel him so that he gets out of the contracts without having to pay,
Yeah, without having to pay a dime. You get that? Because has even talked about how those people diagnosed him,
But now, did you see how systematic it was? Because Ye had a problem with his dick. Okay, that's why he went and got this langa called what's her name? Kim Kardashian. Yeah. Now Kim Kardashian was used to destroy him. Remember when Kanye was losing his shit in the car and everything when he was doing those videos?
Man.
So now they make him look mad. And then, because they take away his children and his life, everything. And then now they start breaking him down one piece after the other. So you're saying Kanye has planned this out.
After making him look mad, they diagnose him. They don't just make him look mad and leave him at that. They make him look mad and diagnose him. You get? So that they will say that, this nigga has not taken his meds. My understanding is
it was actually Kim Kardashian who was saying he's having these episodes because he's not taking his meds. If only,
of course,
he could listen and take his meds, he would be okay.
My goodness.
Yep.
When my understanding of the American system is that whenever an established man start to have his voice, yani start to be a man, they are taking you down. So started becoming a man, and the powers that be are not happy with that. That's why you see all the cancellation. And what I can assure you, Mr. Kibe, look for if he will be alive, look for him in 5 years. That guy will have hit the $10 billion US mark, because there's a clique of the American, especially the black society, that is now also disengaging from this established stores, established clothing line, and that market is what Ye is banking on. From this other side, people say it as blah, 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 blah. But if you look at it from the economic side, you can see where Ye is going.
Man, that guy has managed he's managed to make a lot more from his clothing line than from his music. So he's somebody who seems to know what he's doing.
When the Adidas cancelled him, is a shoe. It's called the Yeezy. Got like 50 million searches on the internet. That tells you how important and powerful that nigga and this brand is.
Man, all right, okay.
But
Hold on, Felix. Let's bring McKenna. Ezra, what's up?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Ezra. What's up?
Okay, now before you, Brian, exit. You know, Brian is being all over and he's saying things which he can't substantiate.
Okay,
For example,
what are you doing? There's so much. Are you using headphones?
yeah.
Yeah, get rid of your headphones, bro.
Oh, hello.
Yes. What are you saying?
Okay, so my question to Brian is saying that the American system wants to bring Ye down. And then on the other hand, he's saying Ye wanted to disconnect himself from the brands. Now, which story can we take?
But that's the same story, bro.
How is it the same?
The system is the corporations that have the power to sell his products. So he agitates the Jews, they cancel him. He agitates the Jews, and then the companies fall in line and start canceling him. Give him the product back to sell on his own. Mission accomplished.
So is it is it something that you wanted to do?
That's what's Felix's angle of how he is reading it. And it's not Brian, it's Felix.
But I think before we make some remarks, it's nice if we were in a position to substantiate.
It's all speculation, bro. There's no offense in that.
Oh. But before I exit also, a view, when we're having a discussion, for example, we were talking on empowering the men, mostly our fathers, and then somebody came up with a certain story of saying that there was a woman who was created in line with Adam, and we all shifted from the discussion of empowering our fathers and started having a discussion on the woman. Now, I think when women come in a mix, they'll tend to destroy everything, including all that men are trying to build. So in as much as we're giving these ladies a chance to talk something on this platform, I don't want us to take their views, but not engage them in such a serious way, because ladies will always destroy what men are trying to build.
Where is this anger coming from, bro?
You know, it's not anger.
It's bad experience with a girl?
Exactly.
What happened?
Now, there is this woman who happened to be my grandmother. And I want to be sorry because I'm having my cousins in this platform. So it's my request that you cousins catch feelings. So my grandmother used to be this manipulative, raised the firstborn, was a son. Then the son akakuja huko USA sometimes back. I shared the story. And so after that, the son started sending chums to my grandmother. You know, that process,
My grandfather was so poor until he decided to take a second wife. And as per now,